I have no idea if I am here or not. Or there. I've never done this before, you guys. Okay. Um, 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 um. Can anyone hear me? And no, no to which. Can you guys hear me at all? Awesome. Loot says we have sight and sound. Yay! I see there's a huge delay. Yeah, this is all new to me. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Leo, Survivor, Lutz, Mari. How are you guys? Yeah, I kind of figured we'd get together and we have a lot of MAM news to talk about. Um, we have a reward offered for $100,000. We want to talk about that. And we have kittens that are tearing up my house, by the way. So you're going to hear stuff falling. Sorry, guys. As you know, I'm just a mom. Sorry. I'm so professional. Okay. This is all weird because I can't see anything like you guys can. Oh, yeah, be the kid. Let me tell you, when I'm putting the videos together, I'm actually doing my research. So I don't like to talk about, like, for sure I've got this figured out and a video is going to be out until I can see the research come to a point, because it could be a dead end, just like you guys look into something, you're like, oh, that's another light. How are they doing? And then no, nope, it's a reflection in the lens on the camera, blah blah blah. But when I was walking through that barrel video and I was doing my research, so I recorded on a PowerPoint. It's a very good way for you guys to be able to break down your thoughts. Like, you can start putting dates down and move the PowerPoint boards around to put them in order whenever you want. So you can recategorize, and it's wonderful for visuals. You can remove backgrounds from stuff and blah, blah, blah. But when I was working on the barrel video, I just was like, this is beyond anything I really had thought of, that they would eliminate that soon in the game a key piece of evidence. You know, over time, maybe they're backtracking, trying to cover their tracks, they're in over their head. You know, the plot gets thickened. But that early on, that we're on the 7th, which is 2 days after they find the RAV. So, okay, let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Sheila. Um, and yeah, you beat a kid. Thanks for hanging with me last night, all of you guys, very much. Uh, Jocelyn, and hi, Courtney. Mary Jo, good to see you. And Slayer rocks. You do rock. You do rock. And Mary, hey, Mary, good to see you all. Yeah, I finally had to figure this live out because there's so many things to talk about with you guys. So, what do you guys want to talk about first? I hear the kitten knocking around something. Um, I kind of think we should kind of try to go in order here. So, we're going up to the appellate court. Hi, Peterson. Good to see you again. We're going to the appellate court, so that's huge for us. October 10th, Zellner's going to be releasing her motion, and I'm very excited for that. I saw she had a huge word extension request. Um, hey, Jazzy Naz, how are you? Leo, Kuss Road. You got it, Kuss Road. Hey, Ronald, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, yeah, so I want to see this thing from Zellner more than anything in the world right now because, we've been working so hard on trying to get to the bottom of the stuff. And to be able to see it in writing is going to validate a lot of all of our hard work. How did I connect the barrels? Well, that's a great question. It's your birthday, Mary. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm not a great singer, but I still love you, Mary, and happy birthday. How did I connect the barrels? Well, actually, I can contribute that to a lady. I can't say her name because she prefers to remain anonymous, but she went through 2 years, almost 3 years worth of research on the barrels. And she kept coming to our group and trying to explain it. But we would get lost in so many different rabbit holes in the yarn of it was like yarn balls strung together in knots and all this. And I just could not at the time absorb it. And then it was like if I could, visually see these barrels, that'd be the way I could tell them apart is if I could use, because we all pay attention. We're awake enough to pay attention to detail now. Say the devil's in the detail. And so I'm like, if we could see the barrels, that would be fantastic. And lo and behold, the gentleman that released over 2,000 videos, I know his name started with an H. I've been trying to track it back down. He showed over 2,000 videos, and in them were the barrels. And I thought of this lovely person that has always been kind to me and was so devoted to the barrels. And this individual's health is not great. So it's dedicated to her. She did a lot of the research, and I was able to validate it through the photographs themselves. And so you just never know who's going to be able to help, you know, solve this case. So, look at all the happy birthdays to Mary. Hi, Todd. How are you? Hi, Jeannie. Good to see you. And Janie and Lori and Gloria. It's good to see everybody. I've missed you guys. This feels like forever. YouTube took away live, and I was like, okay, we'll figure it out. And I kept looking at OBS going, I don't think I'm going to figure that out. So I had to go watch a YouTube video. So I figure if we can, figure that out, we got it going. Yeah, let's talk about a couple things. So, wow, $100,000. How many of you think that the money was a motive for the confession that we just recently heard about? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Slayer Rock said, fantastic work on the barrels. Timelines are the key. You nailed that. That's for sure. That timeline is, there's no way to nail it any better. Ciders, it all boils down to, so Matuszak, hey, kitty, kitty, that's loud. What are you tearing up? I think the cat is tearing up my Xbox for the kids. Noah, if you want your Xbox, you might want to take the kitty. We're so professional, right? It's a true live. Um, okay, barrels. Yeah, the timing is incredible because you really have to look at it. You go, okay, so Matuszak picks up a barrel on the six that's on the trailer. He hightails it back to Avery's, ditches 645. Totally ditches the 55-gallon. And then, you have to think when he picks up 7102 and Wendy's guarding it and he returns with one barrel, where did it go, right? because we never see it back in evidence that I can see just from looking at the photographs, doing the measurements, and so forth. I personally just don't see the barrel there. Okay, let's see here. Question. Lutz has a question. Let's see this. If the confession is verified, okay, so we're going forward. Is there a way to still hold the people responsible for evidence tampering, responsible for their actions, or does the whole cover up go away? Well, you guys know I'm not a lawyer, but the thing is I would have to say, in my best logical guess, ooh, this is a big one, you guys. If I'm using my thought process correctly, it it might actually not play in Steve's favor for a lawsuit because there'd be a lot of loopholes to think that they had done their job properly, unless um, if we can, like, if he chooses to sue them civilly in a way for defamation of character, and then he's able to dig in the other stuff, they might have a slander suit against that he could pull or something. I'm not sure. But unless they actually are in cahoots or have somehow paid this guy to do it or involved with the murderer themselves, I don't think they can be held accountable the way you'd like them to be. That's just a guess. I'm not a legal person. I've been kind of, web crawling a little bit to try to figure it out. Um, ask Tracy, ask Travis. I know they're lawyers or very close to being a lawyer for Tracy. They're going to have a much stronger answer for you. Okay, let's see what else we got. Um, any detail? No, no details on the confession. Why be the kid? The thing is we're not going to hear any details on that confession for a little while because, first of all, there's been so much publicity on this case that it really leaves the control um, questions have evaporated. So, what is it that even I've always kind of said at this point in the case, even if somebody walked up and confessed right now, the only way that it will hold water, because everybody knows everything about this case, is if DNA matches. So that brings me to the blood and the quarry and my thoughts. Also, we have a bloody handprint on the back of the RAV by the cargo door. We'll never see the RAV, in my opinion. So I would say if there's some way to match it DNA wise to this person's confession, I would almost think at this case there would no longer be the opportunity, which isn't fair, by the way, for just a confession. It would have to be corroborated with strong, hard evidence and not circumstantial. So, um, let's see, what else is there? I missed you. Mary misses Jeannie a lot. I missed you too, Mary. Um, Ronald Cass has a thought for us to kind of chew on. He says, "I think the confession was inspired by the state to derail KZ." There's a thought. What if? If we're walking the what if on the confession, I mean, it's not hurting anything. We're not getting our hopes up, but we are going to discuss it. So let's play the what if with the confession. So, what if, because the state would no longer be held accountable, it would be an easy way out for the state where there's, you know, because their backs are against the wall. So, what if there is a convicted murderer that's going to spend the rest of his life in prison and somehow um, he benefits from confessing to two murders and shortening his, I say two because the person's a murderer, um, and no one would be the wiser if his sentence got shortened, really, unless they're really familiar with the case. And then there'd be a lot to prove that actually he didn't get out on good behavior or something. So that's a pretty serious thought too. And who is the confessor too? Their credibility is very weak as a murderer. Let's see. Let me scroll back up. It's really going fast tonight. So I think for the money, Mary Mary. Hmm. You how's the convicted murderer? Um, he's gonna what? Add it to my canteen. Please put $100,000 in my canteen. I'd like to buy some massive amount of cards to play. Or would his family get it? Yeah, well, like I said, Zellner made it clear that it's not on a confession alone, that this has to be fully looked at. And so this individual will need to basically match up with some hardcore evidence. KZ said it was all bull S, unfortunately. Now, I hadn't heard that, but it very well could be. Thank you, Lynette, very much. Edwards for notoriety? Mm, well, if it's Ed Edwards, I can't buy it. I can't buy that, he was in such poor health by that point. Copycat killer? Maybe. Ed Edwards himself? I've never been able to understand. I mean, you're dealing with somebody that's quite up in age already. I mean, it wasn't just a year later he's full blown oxygening. It looks like he has such severe health issues that he is not a very fast man. I'm pretty sure somebody that's a volleyball coach could, get away or something from him. Thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. Eric Cole, I read parts of the letter and it's all garbage. Hey, Erica, how did you get parts of the letter? I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Lutz, accountable. Yes, thank you for finding the word. I was searching for it. Yeah. I wish they were accountable. I wish. Slayer Rock says Ronald KZ said he told the, or she told said he told the crew after not getting a response from KG. Yeah, that's actually true. She said when she didn't get back immediately, which she's very busy, that he did contact the crew with a letter when they were um, doing convicting a murderer. Oh, it's been posted by KZ. I'll have to read that. Should we try to find it? Maybe that's what we want to do right now. Let's catch up. I think we got just a couple more and then we'll go Google. Stephen Neese letter to help Steve about her and her kids seeing that. Oh, I got an error. Please use key frame frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which will cause buffering. The current keyframe frequency. I don't know what any of that means, you guys. Okay. Okay. I want to go back up and see what Jeannie's saying. Okay, the letter's been posted. Conviction was posted by Casey. Has it? Stephen's niece's letter to help Steve about her and kids seeing that car in the field. They all saw it, she said. The witness claimed he was sitting in the field for some time. Coincidence? Huh. That's a good point, Jeannie. She's talking about October 30th, actually, when the kids were all over at Stevens, and it was Blaine and Kayla and another person, and I believe another kid. One of the kid witnesses, was saying that Barb was there, actually had pointed out the lights and seeing a car out in the field. And then the other kid said she thought Barb was at work, so I'm not sure which is which. But this car, was there, and he said it was, like, over a minute or more that the lights were on and then just flickered off. Lutz says state found another loophole. Yeah, that's my concern is, but here's the deal. State's in a lot of trouble. Their backs are against the wall. So let's say that we do have somebody confess and it turns out that it's legit. Okay. As far as we can tell, I'm going to have questions about them now because this person might be getting out early because of their confession. And so then the state crime lab switches and does some fancy dancing, swaps some swabs and said, oh, yeah, CX, we found out it's our confessor. And then they've got away with everything they've pulled. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, our guys would go home. So I would want them to go home more than I would need my curiosity met. But at the same time, I would be very frustrated. So, you know, and this could hold no water. It could just be a publicity stunt, to as someone said on here, um, to derail Zellner. And if that's true, what a distraction, right? Right when she's supposed to shine and she just did her $100,000 announcement of the citizen. Now, KZ never put that money up. It doesn't come from her account, it doesn't come from her office. It's a citizen. And they put up $100,000. She's just sharing that knowledge with everybody. Okay, let's see. It was fake, unfortunately. It was all BS. A guy in prison that confessed wanted KZ to send him 2,000 to get more information. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, that makes more sense to me. Like I said, one thought that did go through my mind is I'm like, before you guys shared this with me, because I've been busy with all kinds of appointments today, is what if it had been Sean Rudy confessing? I would have been like, what the hell? So, Joseph Allen, the guy who said Steve confessed to him. Oh, are you serious? Oh, really, Slayer Rock? Slayer Rock said, your barrel video convinced me that TH is dead. That's interesting. I hadn't really even thought about it during that moment because I was thinking more of actual barrels and mathematics and what dawned on me. It was the first time in my life I had to use algebra. I'm like, okay, I have no idea where this barrel is. We'll name it Y. And then I'm like, okay, I've got A, B, C. So A plus B plus C equals Y. Yeah. It was crazy. Yes, I definitely need to read the confession letter. Okay, let's go see if we can find that. Does anybody have the link to the confession letter? Otherwise, I can go Google it, but let me see what we got. Okay. I don't want to lose this tab. Yeah. Let's go to a new tab. $3 ago. It has no credibility. Okay. Yeah, you hate to get too excited about this stuff, but we'll go ahead and we'll read what this says. I don't know if this is the letter. Oh, yeah. Okay. Should we do the whole article? Let me come back. Where I lost you guys. There we are. Right? Yeah. There you are. You think so, Leo? Leo says, "Cuss." Let's take a vote. Do you want to talk about? You can either type Cuss Road, and we'll talk about Cuss Road, or you can talk about me reading the confession letter. Type letter. So either type Cuss Road or letter, and I'll do what you guys want. She links to John Ferrick's article. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Oh, by the way, I got a new headset. I hope it's working good. It feels huge on my head, but did I lose everybody? Kuss Road. Kuss Road. Oh, the votes are coming in. We're definitely going to Kuss Road so far. Kuss. Letter. Letter. Ooh, 3-1. Oh, we're tied. Now Kuss Road's winning Kuss Road. In the lead is Kuss Road by 2, by 3, by 4. Oh, you guys. Looks like Kuss Road's winning. All right. Okay. So since Ashley doesn't know, she's like, do something. She's like, letter, Kuss Road, whatever. Sounds good. I don't know. Letter, please. Okay. I'll do the letter real quick, then we're going to do Kuss Road. Okay. Let's just go read the letter. It shouldn't take but a minute. Oh, so that's the guy? All right. I'll read the letter. Let me see if it's all here. How many pages is it, though? Oh, Lord. You guys, it's handwritten. I'll skim it real quick. Hmm. I don't know, you guys. Oh, yeah, I heard about this letter. This guy was taught. Yeah, I saw this video, the Joseph W. Evans Jr. letter. Okay, I had never seen it till today. All right, I can try to read it, but we're gonna have to get on Kuss Road then. And it is broken apart, I think. How do you get all of it? Do I got it all? No. We'll do that separate. We'll do it separate because it's handwritten. I'm gonna have to read it first, or I'm gonna be stumbling around like an idiot. Just telling you now. Okay. We can read it later. We will read later. It's the letter later. Try to say that twice fast. Yeah, it hurt my head, you guys. Um, I really looked at it more like instantly because of this case. I'm like, is this handwriting so bad? Did the sicky letter guy write it? I gotta look. You know you want to look. Let's look at him. Look at the R's. Look at the eyes. Hey, maybe we have a whole new video here. The S's are kind of close too. He has that sway. You have to look it up. That would be something if the sicky letter tied in with this. But if Zellner said it's nothing, then it's nothing. All right, let's get back onto Kuss Road. So first of all, oh, that's what we need. We need to go on gossip on Jack's site. Jack's West has gossip and MaM Gossip. I love the group. And somebody, Ashley is saying, somebody typed it out there so we can just read it. Okay, that's perfect. Um, okay. I had to use Google to read it to me. That's so funny, Jesse. Hmm. Okay, I need light on. Hold on just a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to go turn on a light. So dark in here. No, turn the light on. Come on. Never mind. I got it. How did I do this? There we go. Sorry, guys. I couldn't even see my keyboard. It got like pitch black. I gotta get used to all this new equipment. Like the headset feels funny. And the cats are freaking me out. They're attacking my Xbox. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about Kuss Road. Oh, I am, Deborah. Thank you. I am feeling a lot better. I got bronchitis and it was no fun. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was wheezing when I breathed. I'm like, nobody's going to want to hear this. So I spared you guys because you would have been like, I don't want to hear that hacking. Ah, thank you, Lutz. Okay. Yes, it's a little. I got it today because it's better than even like the other stuff I've been using. Yeah, Xbox headset. It's a bit bright now. Okay, let me figure out a different light. You guys got to help me with this. I don't know what looks better from your perspective. Hold on. Okay, I was seeing if that would help. If I turn my computer away from the light so you don't get a glare, we'll see if that works. Now I got to try to put the headset and my glasses back on. Okay. Okay, guys. I want to talk about Kuss Road. Good. It's much better. We got this. We got this. Okay, Kuss Road. So we started off. Remember when we started Kuss Road? It was with the phone calls and dispatch. And I have a question. This is something Courtney brought up to me, a good friend of mine, and she's actually going to be doing a podcast with me very soon. And she will be a guest of ours. But she and I were talking about the fact that on these dispatch calls, on the one we were listening to last night on the barrel video, um, one of the things we noted was they're calling dispatch to tell her that the guys are not reachable by cell phone. Why would dispatch be calling a cell phone? The whole point of dispatch is to have these recordings of these incidences and where everybody was when they were doing it. It's protocol. So that's a big deal to me as to why they're so worried about that. And also, of course, they're going to say their cell phones are shut off because they're down there near the quarry, near Kuss Road, near Deer Camp. There's probably no reception. And if Scary Corner, Slayer Rocks, do we have a scary? Oh, is blinking behind me. What is it? I'm trying to see what's blinking behind me. I literally don't know what's blinking behind me. I have nothing reflecting that I know of. No idea. Scary corner. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, the Chuck key. Jeannie's talking about entering. If you go to your keyboard, you go to Google and you type S1 space, and then you go K1 space, and then type the word key and hit enter. You'll get a Chuck key. You know, of course, it's more like an Allen wrench key with a cog on the end and stuff, but it's not a key that starts anything really, I don't think. I think it's something else. That is what I want to know, Lynette. Much better, Ducky. What is it you want to know, Lynette? Yeah, I agree with Erica. Lynette said nothing. Okay. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about customer, but also I did come on with a little bit of my own agenda a little bit. I want to talk about the victims' families a little bit in some of this. I'm working with this lady who is a local and has experienced a loss of a sibling, and it was to homicide in that county. And the way she was treated, as I was listening to this, I was even thinking, more of the lines of like Ricky Hodgeletter's family. How were they treated? I mean, think about the mother from Ricky Hodgeletter would have went in and been asking, well, what did DCI say, Link? What did they say when you told them? Are they going to investigate it? And Link's like, they're not interested. They said there's nothing they can do. And then she goes home, she calls DCI, and DCI is like, uh, we've never heard of this case, ma'am. That's how you treat victims' family. Yet all we hear from them is, you know, we're doing it in honor of the Hallbox, the victim's family. But that's not what I'm seeing, not from the locals that are talking and not from the record, the historical record of the victims, the way we know that their families have been treated. And, oh, thank you, Erica. Um, yeah, that light, it is so strange. I have nothing. I'm trying to even figure out where in my house it is, you guys. Maybe we've started a whole paranormal channel. Okay, I'm going to walk over and find out. Okay. We're seeing a light over here, and it's flashing coming from behind me. I'm trying to see where it is because it's nothing behind me that is showing up on video. Okay, right back here. You sure? No. Oh, I know what it is. I'm excited. I know what it is. Okay, you guys, I got this figured out. So everything, I've put this headset on so many times it's like cranking on my head funny. Okay, I got to get used to this thing. So what it is, you guys, is it's the other side. Yes, I'm actually charging one of the kids' controller, and so it's black. Yeah, but it's a mirror image to me on this new system. So I was so confused because I thought that was my window, but it wasn't. Hmm. So next time it says I need to use an audio stream bitrate of 128 kbps. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's a controller. It's the cat. The cat's blinking. But yeah, the big thing to me about this whole Kuss Road thing is if we've got the cell phone down there and then you look at Bushman's list, we have that guy he wrote burial site, not possible burial site, not um just burial site. And then I'm looking at his notes and I'm thinking of Len Kaczynski's notes. And at the bottom it says exhibit photos. And then it's H1 and H2 and it says body, measurement, dig site. And then I find out that there's 150 plus pictures between H1 evidence and H2 that we've never seen yet. So I, there is such a delay on the new system. The cat is blinking, Levitt Lute said. Uh, yeah, I'll have to figure this OBS out. I know you can do like wonderful things with it. But I just wanted to more or less jump on, have a few moments with all of you. I've missed you guys so much. Hi, Shanda. Hi, Lynette. Good to see you both. And Kelly's here. Good to see you. Um, but yeah, when you look at this, so Matuszak would have taken the barrel back to Avery's, lost the barrel. Now, his job apparently is to go collect a new barrel that's sitting there at Stevens. Okay, so they grab 7102. All right, so they bring that barrel back. Now, there had to have been some communication between Matuszak and Bushman. Because if this barrel is 7102 cell phone barrel, which Siders found, Siders was with Bushman on Kuss over here. So where's our connecting factor? It's between the 7th and the 8th. Oh, yeah. Our connecting factor, I'm trying to do a K. Does that look like a K? Kratz. It said it. Ken Kratz is the one that sent the orders to bring barrel marked for back. But he didn't say to bring back barrel 645. So Matuszak was dropping off a barrel to lose it. And now then Riemer's is the one bringing it back. So if anybody, if we have to take this small group of people, Bushman is the original arresting, one of the arresting officers on the scene when Stevens arrested in 1985. And he is a canine unit at that time. Ashley thinks we cracked the case. Well, I haven't cracked it because I still don't know who the murderer is. I just can simply show you how things came, from Kuss Road. And that's for sure the cell phone came from Kuss Road. So let's think about barrel 7102, which is the cell phone barrel. What all was found in the cell phone barrel? Basically, her electronics. And then in barrel 2, which would have been barrel 643, according to the Calumet records, would reflect as the Yonda barrel, the Dassey barrel. Big problem because Dassey's barrel was a 55 when it was collected. But when you look at it in evidence, 643 is not a 50-gallon barrel or 55-gallon barrel. It's only a 50-gallon. So the bone in the cell phone barrel don't match the original tickets, the original evidence tags. And evidence tags are evidence themselves. And when you break off evidence tags, such as taking it off bones, you destroy evidence. Absolutely destroy it. So, okay, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, sorry about the reflection, guys. Literally, you guys had me a little bit freaked out too because I could see it, but I was looking on the wrong side of the room, and I'm like, I'm not seeing no light. Um, See, it's all about perception. Oh yeah. And that's the deal. Think of the perception we were given. We were given the perception that the cell phone barrel was being burnt at Stephen Avery's. And when Robert Fabian and Earl were on the golf cart and they were cruising by, oh, yeah, we could smell electronics, we think. Something burning. No, you couldn't. Because that barrel wasn't even there then. It had the electronics in it. So, wrong answer. Let's see here. Yeah, Slayer Rocks has a great question. You just made my light bulb go off, Slayer. So Slayer says, when was the boss wants us to do something different? Conversation. Yeah, the boss. Who's the boss? Really? I mean, they've got master keys, I get. Oh, Grandmaster keys? Do they have keys to the sheriff department of the 33rd whatever? Just saying, Grandmaster keys. Dumb. Okay. Yeah, I think we did crack some planting there, Ashley. I really, really do. I'm all with that. I want to go back into the victims' families a little bit, because this is a big deal to me. I've been working with Courtney quite a bit, and she's a lovely lady. And to think of things she'll tell me and share, which she's going to be sharing a lot with us, and the emotional hell of being a family member of a victim and being treated as if you're the perpetrator. Having to do your own investigation because they're so sloppy and that county doesn't give a hoot to do their job proper. And can you imagine ever thinking of losing a loved one, let alone having to look at their autopsy report to see if really honestly the story you're being fed is the truth about your loved one? I personally can't, it's unimaginable. Literally, I can't fathom it. And to hear these stories like that, just, I don't know. It's hard to talk to family members that have been through a crime where they've lost someone and they've had to cross a line and become the investigator because you don't know where to put them emotionally. You want to dig in the case and get to the bottom of it. But we know as outsiders from the victim, we're outside of them. We have an unbiased view for one. We can contain our emotions a lot better. Um, we're not going to suffer traumatically from uncovering some heinous part of the crime that's going to make us victims to homicide. And families are asking, can't you find out who did this? And they're not. And they're digging in. You wait till we dig into it. This is where some of the locals are getting brave. They're just like, you know what? It's scary, but I'm not going to stop talking. And they're coming forward. And I'm excited to know that this person has trusted us enough to be able to share their story. And so that's going to be coming out this week if everything goes right. Um, I don't know if I'm streaming as good as I was. I see it's getting kind of weird on the thing. Okay, we'll get this OBS system worked out. I literally watched one video and hooked it up, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I was actually shocked when somebody typed. I was like, oh, I'm live. Okay. Let's see. No, Gloria. Stevens Barrel, to my knowledge, I'm not saying another evidence photo is not going to pop up somewhere down the line, but out of what we have right now, I personally haven't found Stevens Barrel because Stevens Barrel is a 55-gallon, and Stevens Barrel is not a 50-gallon. That's the problem. So I still have a little cough from that bronchitis yet. Let me grab a drink. At this point, I have never seen anything from Stephen Avery's barrel since. Now, if his barrel would have been 50-gallon, then we wouldn't really know. But Leo's got a good question. Do you think TH was found on Kuss Road? I've been waiting on this question. I've been dreading it. I keep telling you guys, there's a problem with Kuss Road more than a cell phone because the law enforcement told Jody they promised her to show her pictures of a body. And Lynn Kaczynski explained that the exhibit photos of H1 and H2 was body measurement dig site. What do we have on Kuss Road? We have measurements because we've already proved that in one of the Kuss Road videos. The state troopers came down there and took measurements. We've got a burial site. We have cadaver dogs alerting on Kuss Road. I personally think that they found parts of a body, at least major parts of a body. And I don't know whose it is. I'm not going to say it's Teresa's. I'm not going to say it's Carmen Botwell's remains. I'm going to leave that open because I don't know. I'm trying to reverse engineer this so that we can kind of see, if you know your destination, you should be able to walk backward and figure out what path was taken to get there. And so that's a big thing for me. And I don't want to lock in and say it was TH. I have a lot of issues with it in both scenarios. So I can sit and talk to somebody that believes that Teresa is alive, and all day long I'm like, you make such valid points. Yes, her social security number is still valid to this day. How did she know she was going to leave? And she tells Tom Pierce that her last day at Auto Trader is going to be October 31st. Why was her missing poster out 2 days early, or at least a full day early? It said the second. There's a lot of things that make me go, with her being alive. Then I'm like, well, there's no way she'd be alive. There's no way. If this was a setup, I have a hard time thinking that they would leave the victim alive as a risk to forever hold over their head some blackmail. Well, I don't like the color of my nails today, so I want another 50,000. And yeah, make that in hundreds by noon. Yeah, there's that risk. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, hey, it's me, Teresa. I had amnesia and I got it all back, and now I remember what happened. Whatever. Um, I just, I don't know. I don't see how she could be alive. I really don't. Would the killer leave that kind of a loose end? And I say that, killer, because somebody took Carmen Botwell's life. She didn't have a prescription, so there's still a killer. And I believe it's tied together. I really honestly do. I believe that the timing is tied together. I don't know that Carmen and Teresa were, I think it had more to do with opportunity, size, height, that kind of thing. I don't believe that they needed them to look alike. I think it was an afterthought. I have a lot of problems with just saying, Carmen Botwell was an accidental overdose. No. Even Riemer said right away that it was considered a homicide, it was an open case, and that it would be like a needle in a haystack to find her murderer. Because she had no prescription and she wasn't a drug user. So how'd that get in her system? It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna try something that has pretty much a good chance of killing me. It had to have been slipped to her or something. I just don't believe she took it willingly. And there's a lot about the Carmen Botwell case that, um, I'll be honest, there's a lot of fear surrounding that case with the people that know stuff. And to talk to them, they're very shut down. And we do have documents that we feel would be wonderful to share. I could share Carmen Botwell's autopsy report, but I've given my word that until the family themselves somehow communicates to me that that's okay, I'm not ready to do it because it's been expressed to me that they do not want that. So, out of respect for the family, because that's the very most important thing, is how is the victim's family made to feel? And how were the Hallbachs made to feel? Hey, we're going to give you back your daughter's bones, and let you continue with your grieving because we honor and respect that what you've been through. And then talk out of this side of the cheek, and they're like, well, we may have given them, Kentucky Fried Chicken bones. If it's going to affect Stephen getting out of prison, we'd like to redact that part and just say, It could be animal bones. It might have been Kentucky Fried Chicken bones. We don't know what we gave the hot dog. How's that for treating a family and honoring them? Hmm? It's embarrassing, is what it is. Um, what do I think of the list of items from the new photos that look like they are from Kuss Road on the list of license plate? Oh, when I saw that license plate. Okay, so I'm going to play two sides of the coins here. I was looking at it right away like, is this what they found? But on every single sheet, there's the whole license plate written. So they didn't find the license plate in all locations. So I think as far as the license plate goes, I can't be sure, but I think the license plate was given out to A, B, C, D, which are the four search teams. And keep in mind, Bushman's leading up one. So he's the leader, who's retired, mind you, from the force. One of the original arresting officers there to secure the perimeter of Stephen Avery's in 1985. Talk about conflict of interest. Yet the coroner, Deb the coroner from Manitowoc County, who had nothing to do with the 1985 case, she's the conflict of interest. Please. No. So Michael Bushman's leading right there. Red flags go up everywhere. Naturally, he's going to be a very suspicious person because we have a case for $36 million. He's one of the arresting officers. Um, he's retired. He comes out to help, volunteers to help, and he happens to be present and the leader of the A team. Oh, yeah. Ryan Hilligus is in charge of the search team. Ken Kratz is in charge of the prosecution. Anybody starting to catch the plan here they seem to have? So yeah, the list at first I was thinking, okay, this is everything. And on the other side, they did find the cell phone. It's right on that list. They're on Kuss Road with that list. We know that. So we know that the cell phone barrel 7102 originated down on Kuss Road. And it was switched out for Steve Avery's. Wendy Baldwin guarded it. Matuszak came and picked it up. Now, what about the bone barrel 642? No, 643. Yes. Supposed to be 55 gallon, and it's only a 50 gallon. It's the bone barrel. Anybody want to take a guess where that came from? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, also, remember that call last night we were listening to? You may want to go back and replay it. It's, I don't remember the mark, maybe 3 minutes, 4 or 5. You hear, I believe it's Lincoln Colburn talking, and he's like, did you do that other items pickup today? Are you going to do that tomorrow? And he says, we're going to sit on that. We're only going to assist for a moment. Are they moving the barrels? Is that what they're saying? Because we have the barrels moved in 2 days. So what happens is on the 6th, the barrels, all 4 of them get pulled in. On the 7th, barrel 645 gets taken back to Avery's, dropped off and lost. Maybe not even Avery's. Maybe it's taken back to Kuss Road. On the 7th, it disappears. Matuszak picks up 7102. So that's the first barrel swap. And it's fully clear that Matuszak's the one that swaps the barrel. And this is the first time in my life in this case I can literally tell you who swapped what. Matuszak swapped the barrels. Ken Kratz is the one that says, bring that one marked for, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, back up here, right? Well, they don't bring it on the 7th. They wait till the 8th, just like that phone call. And they bring back 7921 and 7922. Now, 7922 has a number 4 on it. Problem is, number 4 barrel was a 55 gallon. Now, no more. Now it's 50 gallon. And it's got 3 rings, not 2. Didn't happen. Couldn't have happened. Couldn't have happened. No, they've flopped the barrels. They've switched barrels. Now Riemer's the one that has his name on the reports, stating that he's the one that brought those barrels in. Way to go, Riemer. Okay, let's see. Let me go back up and see if we missed anything else because I don't want to lose everything you guys are saying. Reflection of your TV. Yeah, probably right. Um, oh, Natasha, the whole confession thing, I guess, turned out to be nothing. I went to read the letter and it was handwritten and it goes on for days. And Zellner said it was nothing. And it's an old guy that doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure once we read it, we'll be like, there's nothing here. Or Zellner wouldn't have said that, in my opinion. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, was the SWH license found in the quarry? Um, I still, to this day, think that they were not found on the vehicle. I kind of feel I've always had this thought process when I listen to that call where Colburn's calling in the plates and so forth. Because you hear that often, the cars over here is what I personally hear. Something's over here, it sounds to me like cars over here. So in my mind, is he out there like his Pam of Sturm, Pam of God? Is she like the PI with her camera? Later pretends it's Scott's so Scott can give it to her and it can look like it's not her camera. But if she got her little PI camera out there on the road and she's looking around for stuff and comes across like the plates, the paperwork for the RAV and so forth, the AudioVox phone, and she's all like, oh my God, calls in Colburn. He comes to look at the stuff. He calls it in on the Spanish line because he doesn't have the car. He's got the plates though, and he's thinking this is the plate number, but he can't remember. So he's like, "Hey, is that registered to a Teresa Halbach, 1999?" "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you." And then you hear cars over here, and then that's the moment where he looks up and sees where they're waving him down, and it's that little turnaround where it's tucked in there, and he can then see the car. That's kinda what goes through my head. So in that case, I would guess that Colburn would be holding the plates, but there's a million different ways this could go. Could he be down in the quarry with the car? Yeah, the car could be down in the quarry too. We've looked at the mudding and dirty stuff that's all white and so forth on the wheel wells and the tires. That looks like the quarry dust, right? Okay, let's see what else we got. It does go fast now. Okay. Benjamin, welcome, Benjamin. And they say, I don't think it was even TH remains that were found. There you go. There's another person that believes that way. And that's the other question I have because it doesn't have to be TH's remains found on Kuss. It could have been somebody else's. And they say not pertinent to this case, but does it become pertinent to the case? I don't know. It's so strange. Um, Leo says, bingo. Lutz, any chance these observant officers can tell the difference or can't tell the difference between 50 and 50-gallon barrels? Not sure. I know there are some ways to tell to see if, and they do have when they're saying 642, we're looking at a 55-gallon barrel. And when they're saying this, we're looking at a 50-gallon barrel. But when they switch out the 7922 or a 645, it won't work. It's going from a 55 to a 50. Now Mary says she's also convinced she is dead now. Um, I know, Deborah. Deborah can't wait for the day the truth comes out, and when we can't all be like, I knew it. Yeah. Yeah. Mary's got another point. Mary's like, why can't, the only picture we can't see is that blurry vent tampering. Oh, right? So we know that Riemer said it was tampered with. That it looked like it had been tampered with. And he said it had been moved. You don't move those. They are fastened to your dash. You don't move that unless it's intentional. So somebody moved her VIN number and then you show it and it's it's blurry. Worse yet, wasn't it Pam that didn't even read out all the digits properly and they had to amend that? Too many questions on this VIN. And we're relying on Sherry Culhane to check the other locations in this vehicle. Why would she? How does that benefit the state in any way? The state's the one paying her to do her job at the state crime lab. The state doesn't want Stephen Avery out. So she didn't do her job proper. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying state crime lab does not do a very good job. A lot of questions. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Gloria says the coroner was the only one with integrity, 100%. And they knew that from the Ricky Hodge letter case because she wasn't going to play by their broken rules. She was going to stick to the book. And that was going to be a big problem. Yeah, they did. They replaced her in the Halbach case with Mike Glazer. Uh-uh. I got so many questions about this. Okay, you guys, let's talk about Mike Glazer for a minute. So he's the one that signs Teresa's death certificate, right? I have a big question. So if they gave the bones away September 20th, 2011, why did the Whiting Funeral Home sign that death certificate 11/10/2005? What did they find on Kuss Road? Did they really find something that they couldn't use? And so they gave it back quietly to Mary for the haul box and then got a replacement body that pointed they could control the bones and take them up to the thing? Did they find a body on Kuss Road and just turn it over to the haul box? And the haul box just played dumb because they thought that Stephen had killed her and so they just wanted it to just gonna play with it? I mean, I'm just saying, I've got questions just like you guys. And when that death certificate is signed 11/10/2005, and they don't actually receive those bones until 9/20/2011, something's not right with the death certificate on that. As autopsy was performed. We've had a lot of questions about that. We're hearing about Jody being told she might see a body, that they may show her photographs of a body. We've got Lynn Katisky talking about photographs of body measurement dig site. Bothering me. Bothering me. Let's see. Renee wants to know, did you see the TTM post today about the two barrels being the same? If so, how do you feel about it? Sorry if you covered it already. I joined late. Haven't even read the post yet myself. That's next. I didn't get a chance to see it. I actually had appointments most of the day. But somebody did explain that they did some bullet mapping and they found out that that barrel of that was in the picture of Stephen Avery's with the red band behind, that bullet mapped out to fit the barrel in evidence. The complication with that is that barrel still, even if it matches, is only a 50-gallon, and barrel 645 is a 55-gallon barrel. So 645 would have been the initial Steve Avery barrel. So even if that did turn out to be true, which I'm not saying it's not true, there's a lot of decent, wonderful researchers out there that may have a way to look at it with a different perspective and see that. But we still have the same issue. It still boils down to 7102 would have been brought in. It just would have simply been brought in before the first in situ photo was taken of Stephen's burn barrel. So that still would show how early on they planned the barrel switch. It's one thing to be in over your head in something where you've gotten so far deep you don't know how to dig your way out, blah, 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 blah. And so time has passed and it's just built into this horrible scenario and you don't know how this lie got to be so big. We've all been there as kids where we started telling a lie and it just got really, really big. Maybe some of you haven't, but I did as a kid. I was like, yeah. And I'm telling the kids, I've got new toys in my backyard to make them jealous. I'm like in first grade. I got a giraffe. And one of them's like, uh, we can see over your trailer house that you live in. If you had a giraffe, we'd know. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't have a giraffe. They're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, yeah. So I get that. But what I don't get is these barrels are being messed with on the 6th. This is intentional, plotted out, mathematical, intense tampering very early on in the game. So they're going to lose a barrel over here and they're going to collect a barrel over here. So whatever they found on Kuss Road was found on the 7th because he's got to go pick up the barrel and it's already got to be over at Stephen Avery's and they got to have Wendy Baldwin guarding the barrel. So I was looking at those time switches and it makes me wonder, did he start off at 4 a.m. and work till, because it says 4 to 13:33 or something like that. That's military time. That means 4 a.m. And that's Bushman. Early riser much? You wanted on that, huh? You wanted to be up there before anybody was really awake. It's a wonder how he knew to go down to Kuss Road, huh, Bushman? You just woke up at 4 in the morning and you were like, huh, I'm going to come out of retirement. I think I'm going to go down about 4 in the morning to that deer camp. I just have a gut feeling there's going to be something there. I think we're going to find something today down there. It's been a whole day before the search party is really looking around because they find the Rav on the 5th, right? Now all the search parties are really spreading out and they're getting seriously depressed. So Bushman's going to come in and save the day, right? How do you know to go to Kuss Road? I don't get it. Well, if it's Easter and I go hide eggs and the kids come up and they've only got 5 eggs, but you know, hid maybe a dozen, it's always helpful to be like, "Oh, do you see that egg over there?" Yeah. Okay. Hi, I gotta say this name right because it sounds beautiful. Marlin. Did I say that right? Marlin? Oh, that's pretty in Shanda. Um, yeah, be the kid. I don't know if it will be solved. Maybe I thought of that too. I'm like, it's so heartbreaking to think that Ma Avery mainly for her. Yeah, and is there any statute on the age of time on a crime? Like if you've lost somebody from way in the past, whether they're wrongfully convicted or they're the victim themselves, and 20, 30, 40 years ago, you never truly get over it. It's fresh in the mind still. I know they say time heals, but when it's unresolved and you don't, as a family member, get to grieve properly with your family, it doesn't go away. That pain can still remain really fresh. And if you're the victim having to do your own investigation because the counties aren't doing these investigations proper, when you start listening to Ricky Hotchletter's mom talk or Courtney Skinner talk, it's heartbreaking. And some of the cold things these poor individuals are told by these county officials that are involved in this case. And these are the same individuals that are in the Steve Avery case, you know. So you're going to be like, oh, that's Sheriff Pogel? Oh, I didn't know Pogel did that. Oh, yeah. Pogel did a lot of stuff. Um, Listening to things about how Ken Kratz has done other people that are victims have lost a brother, and the way that they've been treated is just very unsettling. And it leads me to believe that this investigation that they have is kind of like it's like somebody comes out and they start the circus music up, dun, 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 you know, and all of a sudden the investigators run out of a barrel of monkeys, and we have monkeys all over the place, and then the monkeys take it all to the crime lab and hand it over to the clowns, and none of them have any formal training apparently. It's just absolutely mind blowing. They're putting victims and suspects stuff in the same on the same counter and repackaging and you know the cross contamination it doesn't make any sense. You're trained better at McDonald's for cross contamination. Good lord, at least you know that if you ran a raw onion across a table, you don't go running some meat across a table and hand it out. You have protocols for a reason, and yet they're dragging the suspect stuff across the counter, and they're in these little mobile labs, and then they're bringing in the victim stuff in the same lab, and they're transporting the stuff over from the victim's home, taking it to the suspect's property, and wondering why the DNA is giving them the results that they got. No, it's absolutely ridiculous. Lynette says, well, YB the Kid says, I never thought that, let's see, those were TH's bones either. And then Lynette says, I still think the Rev is not TH. Larry says, political is not bad if it's true. True. Mary, what about the cremation the man rung up about? I don't know, Mary. You're going to have to brief me on that one, love. I don't know. I don't remember hearing anything on it. That would be interesting. Now you got my curiosity. Leo says, always come back to Kuss Road. I know I'm a broken record, but it does hold the key to the entire investigation. High five, Leo. I'm with you. 100%. Went to Kuss Road myself and looked around and literally said out loud, yep, I'm standing right here where it happened. Yep, I'm 100% with you on that, Leo. Mary, too. hmm Larry says it's the same. Shanda does too. Lynette, yep. Love Real says, RD, I have to say that I have so missed your videos. I was just hoping that everything was okay. Now I know what you have been up to. Amazing job in the research and video you uploaded today. Thank you. Yeah, I get so involved in the case, but I got to remember I have a life, I have a family. I can't shortchange them. As a single mom, they need my attention. Even if they're teenagers, they need to have that balance still, and I need it. I need it. So it's worked real good too. I had some good friends that taught me, to take a look at myself in the mirror and decide what what's going to make things right here. And taking care of myself was number one. Because if I don't take care of me, then I can't take care of others, and I can't do proper research. I needed sleep I hadn't done literally like I have now. Now I got myself on a schedule. So I eat better too. As you can tell, I'm a little pudgy. I don't have a problem with making sure I eat good, right? Um, Renee is a fellow Wisconsinite. That's awesome. Sorry too, of course, but that's awesome. Um, Gloria, you still have a problem with the color of the car? Yeah, I think honestly, I think at this point, I think there's a lot of things that point to that not being the same rev. And then there's other times. So I think that, how do I put this? I believe that the car on the Avery salvage yard is the car that they took to Calumet County. I personally don't believe that car went to the crime lab. I've never seen a picture, neither of you, of the car going to the crime lab. What's bothering me is that her own mother said the car was dark green. And I wouldn't call that car dark green ever. I would have said a greenish blue, bluish green. It kind of changes colors, because I would have, and other people have said this too. I'm not the first one to hear it. I agree with them. Also, because it's on our missing poster as dark green, and that could be very misleading if you're looking for a car that changes colors. So bluish green, greenish blue, I've heard that a lot of times describing a house, a car, what have you, but they don't say that. So the car has a distinct point. It changes color. And you can hear Pam. She's like, but, I didn't want to. And it sounds like she was going to say, didn't want to say anything. And she calls a different line. She calls a different phone line. And she's asked, well, why are you calling this line? I didn't want to, In other words, she didn't want to be pre recorded claiming that she had found Teresa's vehicle because she had a question on the color. If it's the same car, why do we have a tampered VIN number? I'm just saying. Why would Pam and, Grandpa got mad at me when I was trying to give him a compliment and I was trying to do it with care. I don't always understand all the other YouTubers and they don't always understand me. I'm not trying to be dumb about it. I'm a civilian and I don't know certain lingo. Honestly, I don't. So I wasn't trying to be mean at all. I was trying to give a compliment that I understood what he was saying. It was more of, I'm dumb. I don't get what you're saying. So, but it was taken the wrong way. I'm sorry. My humble apologies. No harm meant, I assure you. Um, okay, let's see what else we got, you guys. We're at 8:14. I need to be off here by 8:30. So if you guys have any other topics we want to talk about, please throw them out there. Let's see. Love the barrel switcheroo video. Hi, Stacy. Good to see you. Very good to see you. I always hear such good things about Stacy, and I've never met him. But I hear things like, "Oh, I was at the rally and he was so warm and friendly," and I'm like, I want to meet him someday." Let's see. Gloria says, "Wonder what KZ thinks about the car color." Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the fact that she had a blue one either. I'll admit it. None of us did. I would have got you guys um, dark green one just to make my point. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Larry, they sure did. I miss you, Larry, by the way. Jeff is here. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I took a long reprieve and started just kind of working in a quiet way, and I feel really good. I do. I do. I feel like you guys. I feel like I can do my case, and I got time set aside for it, and I haven't blended the world so much between the case and my family. I've segregated it. So this is the time I spend with my kids, and this is the time I can do my case. And boy, I can't tell you, good friends for, kind of telling me I needed to take a step back. They were right. I didn't see it, and they were saying, you need to take a step back. And one of them's like, you really need to balance things out. And yeah, I was like, so what? I'm obsessed with the case, and I am, because I want what's right done. I have a hard time thinking of Brendan. Yeah. So anyway, but I also have kids that need me too. So I balanced it pretty good. Can you say salvaged? Yeah, is this vehicle salvaged? That's a great question. Why can't we have it back if it's not? Some of the things I see is that they're using that, to me, I think I've made it very clear that that is a tow strap wadded up in there rather than a beehive. That's my personal opinion. Um, but It doesn't, everything's wrong on that vehicle, really. And her vehicle would have had to go through something. And the thing is, though, you guys, even you say salvage, but then the damage to the light was pretty recent. That's cut clean, and there's no rust in that light socket area where the connections are made on the wires. So I don't know. I don't think it's the same RAV. I can't connect that. I think the salvage yard RAV is the same one that we see in photographs. I think the one that Teresa had, we don't really have a picture of it yet. I think they've just used a standard, like for all the news programs, it was just a shop photo from some, car lot to say this dark green RAV, look for this, look for this. The only picture we have is her standing in front of that vehicle. And the thing is, it's not blue in any lighting that I can tell. It's just not. It's strange. And the tailpipe's long. They would have had to do it. What's with putting in the fake battery? It's like they removed the battery. Somebody, that screams salvage right there. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Okay, it was on the CASO reports. He called in and said there had been a cremation at night, and he was just letting Ellie know. Was that the week I was really, really sick and I was on cold meds? I don't remember that, Mary. Oh my gosh, I gotta go back and read. I'm gonna have to go read that. I never remembered reading that. Oh my gosh. Has Uyghur, this is Jeff asking. So Jeff says, has Uyghur ever explained why he asked a Hawbox if there were any other deceased female relatives? Mm-mm, never. He has never addressed that. Thank you, David. Yeah, remember that? Well, do you have any other deceased relatives? And she goes on through Karen Halbach, the mother of Teresa. What a question to ask. And think about the Halbachs, the way they were treated, really. Okay, so Fassbender and them, isn't it Fassbender? I want to say he's the one. Him or Uyghur, I want to say Fassbender. Decided to take Katie Halbach shopping for jeans at the mall that her sister would have been wearing when her body was burned. I don't even know what to think of that, you guys. That's absolutely disgustingly wrong on every level. That's like saying, um, that red dress your sister was wearing when she was murdered? I kind of want to take you to the store and get you a red dress like that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That isn't right. What, they need the pants so they'd have the rivets? Paula. Paula's like, dang, I'm late for the part again. It's okay, Paula. We've got about 9 more minutes left. We're just going over just open forum chatting and stuff. Oh, I know, Slayer. Um, it takes some time. And so you guys, I decided, if I'm going to be able to work on the channel and stuff, I can't really close myself off in my little dark bedroom where I was recording before because I never see my kids. So I brought the computer out here. Now try to work with the cats walking across my keyboard, my dog jumping in my lap, and the kids are barking back and forth at each other about controllers and stuff. It is really busy, but I'm still here, still here. You know, Marilyn has a really good question. Or Marilyn, I should say. I want to know why they are allowed to refuse Casey any evidence. Yeah. What would be the point in holding back any evidence? If your job was done the right way, properly the first time, what good's it going to do you? Hand it over. What are they going to do? Change the answers around? Now, if you fabricated it, you got a problem, right? Yeah. Anna Jakowski. Ooh, I may have messed that up pretty bad. The RAV4 was green, and people did see it on the dam on 147. Correct. Many people saw it. Yeah, it disappeared. Teresa says, um, it disappeared with the barrel. Ken has some answers there, though. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Lynette said we should all rush in on the RAV storage. I have to tell you, I do have this fantasy. And so I get my like black um, shoe polish under my eyes and I dress all in black. And you get the music playing. And I've got my little drill and I'm like, and I drill right through the side of the storage unit where the RAV is in the unit beside it. And I take my little camera, and I look in there and light it up and film it. Yeah, that's my fantasy. Being able to see if the RAV is even there. Anna is in. Oh, Anna is from Mishkat. Well, welcome, Anna. So, Shanda says, listen to Millbilly's YouTube channel with the dispatch calls. There you go. You can definitely do that, and you can get them off of clips as well. If you look up MaM, capital M, little A, big M, on clips, you'll be able to find them there as well. Oh, thank you, Paula. She always sends me blessings. I always feel very loved. That's very nice. Yes, Mary. There are times I have to take time out, and I think we all do. When you get in this case, you can be very cynical. It starts teaching you not to trust. You get very suspicious of everyone, and you can become one of those persons that it just eats you up, and you don't feel good anymore. And that's where I was getting, and I was showing it. I was like frustrated to no end, and it's like you just can't allow yourself to get sucked that deep in the rabbit hole. You always got to come back through the Alice in Wonderland mirror of it all and check your perception, you know? And if you stay underground too long in these rabbit holes, your family will start to tell you, oh, yeah. Stacy, Stacy said a good one. The missing barrel has the zip CD in it. I gotta tell you, one of the funniest lines I have ever heard was from TikTok this week when he said, "Game on, Aquanet." That just cracks me up still. Game on, Aquanet. She so deserves that Colhane. All right, you guys, we got about 4 minutes left. I want to thank you guys for staying with me because that meant so much to me. I'll admit there was times when I was like, I'm not going to be able to, you know, balance all this and so forth, but it felt really good to get to step back. I don't belong to any chats right now. I'm not going to, but I do want to have podcasts. And so every once in a while, I'm going to throw up, just like throw up. I meant that sounded terrible. I'm going to throw up Discord, throw on Discord and just create a server for that time to do a podcast on it. And then just like we used to do with Hangouts, just create a channel for that process. That way we can have some podcasts. But spreading myself so thin on chat, it doesn't work for me. just doesn't. Um, in order for me to stay focused, be able to walk through these barrels and stuff like that, I think it's best if I kind of like just really focus with my head down and try to understand it and work it out on my PowerPoint and then just show you guys and just hope that I haven't got a dud. But at the same time, if I have that many strong questions, I figured you guys would too. So Master Cedar says photos of the confession are now on Twitter, and in my opinion, it is a load of BS. Yeah, I think we all kind of agree with that. Yeah, I agree with you, Anna. Anna says the cops do a lot of wrong around here, speaking from fact. Um, yeah. So before I leave, I just want to say I have an interview coming up with Courtney Skinner, and the way that the family has been treated during an investigation is just beyond reason. We're going to be hearing a lot about Pogel, Mark Ott, Glazer, um, just a Michael Glazer. Ooh, after hearing how he has treated this particular victim's family, it it had me as hot as the way that Link treated the Hochletter family. Deb Hochletter had to go through thinking that an investigation was being done and then being let down and finding out that not only was it not being done, but that the that Link had not even followed up at all with DCI. And the rejection of feeling like DCI didn't want to do anything for the Hochletter case, and actually DCI had not even been alerted. It's just so frustrating because it's bad enough to have the fact that you've lost someone in your family, but then to become the investigator yourself? Come on. Calumet and Manitowoc, both these counties are just showing their colors for what they really mean, which is embarrassment that they're not doing their job. The way they've treated a disabled child is just startling. You know, it's discrimination is what it is. They're discriminating against the poor, and they're discriminating hard against the poor, in my opinion. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not a legal beagle. I don't know that. I'm just saying it falls in the line of slander and all this. They're discriminating, and then the end result is that these victims' families, and that's the wrongfully convicted families as well as those that have been wrongfully accused or whatever you have. It's just these families are treated. Look at the way that Riemer talked to Mrs. Botwell. You know, here the mother's been told that her daughter's died of an overdose. And Riemer uses the words needle in a haystack. You just lost your daughter to an overdose, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's uncouth. It's so rude. The choice of words is pathetic. And how does a family feel? They feel intimidated and stripped of their dignity, and they don't feel like they have integrity. So, yeah, it's frustrating. But I am looking forward to talking with Courtney. We get to learn a lot more about how an investigation is handled. Now, one thing that's fantastic is that Courtney's family saved their paperwork. So we actually have a lot of the proof of who she talked to, when she talked to the person, and so forth. And they are all intertwined in the Calumet County. Now, the interesting thing is it goes on from her investigation when it reopened, and they were investigating it goes from 2003 to 2006. So it's going to be right at the same timeline with the same investigators as a Teresa Halbach Steve Avery case. So you have that coming up this week. I'm not sure of the day, but it's coming up. All right, guys, I've run over by a couple minutes. I want to say thank you much, and I love you all. And you all take care, and we'll be working on the next project together. And right now, I'm working on the back side of the library. So we're getting that up and running again, and I had to get the barrel video done first. So